Get your camcorders, batteries and tapes and let's go backward, because everything old is new again. Old school camcorders have become popular with Gen Z, who shoot TikToks, Instagram Reels and even mini movies with camcorders like this. Well, not exactly like this, because this is the Panasonic AG3, a professional SVHS-C camcorder. Released in 1993, it became the world's second handheld camcorder to have a 3CCD imager. It is rare because for just $200 more, you could buy the first 3CCD handheld camcorder, the Sony VX1, also known as VX3, released 1 year earlier, and later transformed into the venerable VX1000. The Sony had a top handle and could record up to 4 times longer on a similarly sized videocassette. The problem with this particular specimen is that the tape mechanism is barely working. I recorded about 10 minutes of footage through the noise and grinding, hoping for the tape to keep rolling and not snap. It didn't, but it got all chewed up, unusable for further recordings. Ideally, I should have this camcorder serviced, but it will cost me an arm and leg, if I even able to find a tech who can work on this thing. The only meaningful choice that I have is to bypass tape altogether and feed live video to an outboard recorder. I'll still be able to use the zoom lens, and I can use attachments like a fisheye. I can record from the built-in stereo microphone, and I will have all the manual controls. The video will be free of jitter, dropouts and color blooming, so the quality will improve compared to recording on tape, and I will be able to see what this 3CCD sensor block is capable of and benefit from its traits like global shutter. Now, what monitor recorder should I use? A professional one like Atomos Ninja is expensive and needs SDI or HDMI input, and the only thing that this camcorder can supply is either composite or S-Video. Enter Digit Pro VHS to Digital Converter 3.0, model number V110. This device is advertised primarily for digitizing VHS and 8mm tapes, but in my opinion it is the perfect monitor and recorder for old-school camcorders. It accepts composite video and stereo audio through a 3.5mm socket. Its built-in 2000 mAh battery is good for about 4 hours of recording. The 5-inch screen is perfect for monitoring the video being recorded. It has a threaded tripod socket on the bottom. The recorder has both a built-in speaker and a headphone output for monitoring the audio. The recorder also has a microphone input, which can be used during an interview, for example, to record questions with better clarity. The sensitivity of this input can be adjusted. The downside? It costs about $180. But if you compare it to the Immersion RC PowerPlay, the price of which has skyrocketed from 90 to 150 euros, or to its clones that cost $150, the price of the Digit Pro V110 does not seem outrageous. The larger screen and the tripod mount are already worth the premium. The interlacer is decent, although some stair-stepping on the lines is noticeable. The Digit Pro V110 is not perfect. For example, there are no adjustments of the input video brightness and contrast, no adjustments of the screen brightness, no selection of the bitrate. 5 megabits per second is sufficient for standard definition video encoded with H.264 codec, but I wish I could have an option to choose a higher bitrate like 8 or 10 megabits per second. If you use media with the FAT32 file system, maximum file size is about 4.2 gigabytes or roughly 1 hour 40 minutes of video. For longer recording, the box creates a new file. The recorder doesn't upscale incoming video. There are 2 recording options for analog video, 640 by 480, which records with old-school 4:3 proportions, and auto. In the auto mode, the box records 720 by 576 for PAL and 720 by 480 for NTSC. NTSC video is recorded at 60 frames per second, give or take.
2. Lottery drawings are audited by Wooten and Nisley, certified public accountants.
There are occasional frame drops, but you will need to pixel peep to notice them. If you upload the digitized NTSC video to YouTube, it will play with 30 frames per second only, because YouTube enables 60 frames per second on videos that have 720 lines or more. The video will also look either stretched or squeezed, depending on whether it was 4:3 or widescreen, because aspect ratio is not set in the file's metadata. If you use the box as an on-camera recorder, More likely than not, you will be editing your footage before sharing, and you can easily correct the aspect ratio in post and upscale it for YouTube. It takes several seconds for the recorder to get ready after it's turned on, and another couple of seconds to start recording. The buttons are neither capacitance-type touch-sensitive buttons, nor are they mechanical ones. I think it's the worst combination of both. You need to press hard for the button to work, but you don't get tactile feedback. On the positive side, I was able to record more than 4 hours of video before the battery discharged completely and the file was properly closed and saved before the recording turned off. Another questionable feature of the box is the threaded socket on the bottom. I am very happy that it is there. It allows using the recorder without an extra holder or cradle. The socket has M5 thread with 4.2 mm insertion depth. Apparently, this thread size is used by several speaker and security camera brands, but it is not common in the world of photo and video. You can buy a converter from M5 male to 1/4 inch female, but I wish this wasn't needed. I am using an M5 bolt that passes through a hole in my camera caddy. To sum it up, the Digit Pro V110 is not the best choice for digitizing VHS or 8mm recordings, especially ones in poor condition, because its ability to stabilize jittery video is rather mediocre. It is especially unfit for digitizing PAL tapes. However, the Digit Pro V110 makes a compelling choice as an on-camera recorder for a tapeless build for an NTSC camcorder. It is 20% more expensive than the Immersion RC PowerPlay and its clones, but I think it has more to offer. It records at 60 frames per second, the screen is larger, the battery runs for hours, the tripod mount is very useful, albeit not the most common thread size. A makeshift hood should help to compensate for the insufficient brightness of the screen. The product can definitely be improved. The biggest issue is the weird PAL video frame rate, which is neither 50 nor 25 frames per second. Splash Player reports 15, Virtual Dub calculated 13.6 frames per second. NTSC frame rate should be stabilized to avoid dropped and inserted frames. To make the product more viable for digitizing VHS and 8mm tapes, its picture stabilization functionality needs to be improved. For easy on-camera usage, the M5 thread should be replaced with a 1/4 inch thread. I would also like the hole to be deeper. Other issues are less critical, but resolving them will improve the position of the V110 among similar devices. In particular, make a setting for aspect ratio 4:3 or 16:9 and record this information into the file's metadata. This is especially important if one doesn't plan to edit videos after digitizing them. Also offer upscaling to HD to ensure that the video uploaded to YouTube plays at full frame rate. Allow to choose a high bitrate, increase the screen brightness, allow to adjust brightness and contrast of the recorded video, and finally either get rid of the buttons altogether and use a touch-sensitive screen with virtual buttons or make the buttons more tactile. I hope that some of these improvements can be made with a firmware update.
Thank you for the day. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
That's it for today. Please like, subscribe and comment. Goodbye!